Well, folks, here we are. It's 1:56 on Thursday. I think this is the 23rd of November 2017, and we are waiting on the bracket for this year's virtual US Open 9-Ball Championship. Now, this tournament, the first thing to say about this tournament is that last year it went ahead in March 2016, and we're way overdue the second tournament. So we're actually a year in April, May, June, July, August. We're about a year and a half late, or 6 months late, I should say. And we are waiting on the bracket updating. That won't happen till just after 2 o'clock. But in the meantime, let's have a quick refresh and a look at who's signed up to the tournament. First of all, just to clarify, we've got a race to 16. It's a shorter race this year. Race to 16 in the winner's side, race to 11 in the loser's side, and a single final to 21, whereas last year it was to 31. I still think when you're doing a big tourney, you should have it over a decent distance. And race to 21, well, I always set it a lot longer than that, but then that was me, that was my choice. Anyway, the one thing to mention as well is that the major rule change to the tournament this year is there are no jump queues, and that is going to affect a number of players who use the jump queue as a big piece of their ammunition. Well, that's gone. Now, as far as I know, we have 41 players signed up to the tournament. We have a number of champions who are signed up. Let's just magnify that a bit if I can and get it to work. I don't even think that's going to work. We've got a number of champions, and first and foremost, we have Mal255, who is the current champion. He's the defending champion from England. There are a number of other players of similar stature to Mal who are well capable of winning the tournament. There are some who may well play good in one match or so, but consistency is a thing that will let them down. But the most accurate that we've seen last year was Mal, no doubt about that. But the thing is these shorter runs, shorter races, and the fact that there isn't any jump queues. Now, Mal was very hot with the jump queue as well. Now, that could be a factor in deciding some of these matches, and it's down to who gets the good safeties, who can kick safe. We've got a few big names in this event, and all with the potential to win. No handicap, and there isn't any second tournament this year. There was last year. There was a handicapped event, but that hasn't been set up this year. Just looking at the time, it's still showing in sign-ups, but we are less than probably 30 seconds away from the bracket updating. There's the last call in the lobby for people who want to enter the tournament. And what I intend to do is I intend to actually do some matches. Now, that the problem with that is the time zone. The other problem is my work commitments, but hopefully I can fit one or two good matches. I even missed last year's final. That's how bad it is. Now, you're asking in the chat, put them in rating order. Well, Mal's by far the biggest favourite. Now, I think the bracket's now updated. Let's do a quick refresh. Right, the bracket's now drawn. So Mal is still going to be the favourite. Yamaguchi Taro, this should suit him better because he's actually somebody who doesn't play with a jump queue anyway, doesn't play with a playing queue, just with a house queue, and his positional play is excellent, and I think that's actually done him a favour, the fact that there's no jump cues, because a lot of the time he's playing good shots, but the other players are just jumping out of trouble. So let's look at the bracket. Now, we've got a winner's side on this side and a loser's side that side. So these are all first round matches. There's a number of byes, obviously. But if we look at the top of the bracket, we've got Andy against Hazard. Now that's a pretty even match, having seen and played both players. None of them play outstanding 9-ball. They know that. They're lacking in the control and the positional play that the champions have. But it's an even match. I couldn't pick a winner in that match. We've got Shibo in round 2. Again, he's another good player, and a bit like me, inconsistent. I think he rushes a bit too much as well, and doesn't play enough either. Again, a bit like me, and he's waiting to play the winner of that first match. And then we have another bye in a sec. Now there's the match of the round so far. We've got Mr. Bill, who is getting a bye to the second round, and he's playing Albinario. And Albinario is a multi-champion in virtual pool, has been over the years. I think everybody knows that. Bill, I think he finished third in last year's event. Bill, well, he's also an expert with a jump cue, but he's going to have to work his way around that. So that is the tie of the round so far. That's a round 2 match. I believe they've got 8 days to play the first round matches, so there's plenty of time to organise their matches and get them played. Let's have a look further down. We've got now here is a tie, which I'd be very surprised if this tie goes ahead, and I'll tell you why. Because Cue Ball 70, Les Duffy, is an old-time virtual pool player. I think he's a player who's made a 147 in snooker in real life, and he does play tournament pool in the States. As far as I'm aware, he was born in England, but he now lives in the States, and he's been drawn to play Capo. Now, Cue Ball 70 just does not get the time to play virtual pool online at all. You'll very, very rarely see him, but the one thing I would say is he is an excellent player, and was around even before I was around in virtual pool, as far as I remember. And he's drawn to play Capo. Now, we know what Capo's like if you've seen virtual pool videos before. So the winner in that match would definitely be Cue Ball 70. And here's another player who's a veteran virtual pool player, Mojo. He's been around for donkey's years, and he just appeared yesterday. I think he hadn't been playing the game for about a year. Obviously other commitments have prevented him from doing that, and he's waiting to play the winner of that match between Cue Ball 70 and Capo. Now, there's bound to be a few forfeits in this tournament this year, no doubt about it. There was last year, and there probably will be this year. There's people who sign up very enthusiastically, and then they can't make the time to play their match. So Mojo in round 2, waiting to play the winner of that match. We've got Mal, who has a bye to round 2, the current champion, and he's waiting to play the winner. Now, that could be a cracking match. In fact, if that match goes ahead, and provided it isn't automatically a player that forfeits, you've got Yamaguchi Taru playing Jay Schrader. Now, Yamaguchi Taru is 95% guaranteed to win that match, no doubt about that. However, if he wins that match, he's going to end up playing Mal, and that is a hell of an ask early on in the tournament. There is no seeding system in this tournament, so you're going to end up getting 2 favourites for the tournament playing each other early on. Now, thankfully for them, it's a double elimination, but Mal is going to have to do it the hard way if he's going to defend his title. He's more than likely going to be playing Yamaguchi Taru, with the greatest of respect to Paul J. Schrader. And we will see how he copes with that one. That's another major tie in the second round. And then we've got Snake Eyes, who has a bye to the second round. And he's set to play Marcellus. Now again, I would say Snake Eyes is probably the favourite. Marcellus, I think, blows a bit hot and cold, a bit like myself. In fact, I'm not even as good as that. But I would probably put Snake Eyes as a slight favourite in that match. Probably over the distance, he would be the winner. And then we have a bye for Federman through to the second round. And in the first round, now there's another cracking match. Federman is waiting on the winner of the first round match between Larry and Acero. Now, Yamaguchi Taru is a Japanese player, one of the Japanese players that plays Virtual Pool online, and I think Acero is as well. At least I think he's got a Japanese flag. And from what I've seen, he's another excellent player. And Larry is a veteran Virtual Pooler, and he's been around Virtual Pool for goodness knows how many years. All the years I've been playing it, I've known Larry. But Larry's, in all the years, Larry's come so close in Virtual 9-Ball World Championship finals. He's come so close, he's never won it as far as I know. And he's up against it, against Acero in the first round. Now Larry's good at kicking the ball. Acero, I've seen him play. He's an excellent player. I can't pick a winner in that match. But whoever gets through, Federman's going to have to deal with him. And he'll be up against it regardless whoever wins that match. Keki's use, I don't think I've ever seen him play. And he's got a bye to the second round, and he's going to be playing Allergies. Again, these players don't play a lot online in the times that I've seen them online, so difficult to judge who would win that one. We've got another probably favourite for the tournament, Cobra, who is due to play Tommy Yu in the first round. Now, Cobra is a player who plays nothing but 9-ball. He's a solid 9-baller, and the problem is he doesn't play a lot of tournaments either. He's up against Tommy Yu. Now, if it was consistency over a race to 16, then Cobra's going to win it. If the break isn't working, or if mistakes are made and chances are taken, Tommy could push him, but I would still say, I think the main thing with Tommy that I've mentioned in streams is he gets a bit nervy, or at least he looks to be a bit nervy and inconsistent. So I would favour Cobra in that match. We've then got Red Dragon, who's a player that we know, and who has to be said, his tournament etiquette is not the best. He's got a bye to the second round, and he's due to play Cobra or Tommy Yu. Well, he's nowhere near the class of any of those two players, so you would think that whoever wins that match will take out Red Dragon in the second round. We've got Mr. Strokem against Aussie Mick. Needless to say, Aussie is from Australia. Mr. Strokem from the States. Aussie Mick, I think, I might be wrong, but I thought he played a bit more snooker than he does 9-ball, and I haven't seen either of those players play recently, so it may well be an even match. Z Carioca is a player from Brazil, who again hasn't been around for a while. He's been away for a little while, and he just came back a couple of days ago, and he's due to play Daily Hustle. Now, Z Carioca is a player who seems to flash at the balls from time to time. That's how he started when he first started playing online. Then he calmed down, and then when he turned up 2 days ago, he started doing the same again. Well, he's due to play Daily Hustle. I can't call that match. I think over the whole distance to 16, it could end up in a final rack decider, that one. Then we've got Senny from Scotland, who's got a bye to the second round, and he's a player that likes 9-ball, plays other games as well, but he doesn't play to the same standard as many of the others. He knows that, and he'll be up against it regardless who wins that first match. So he's got a bye to the second round. But the one thing about Senny is if he focuses and concentrates, he could give them a game. And then we have Mark Shark, who I think, I might be wrong, he might be from Germany. And he's got a bye to the second round, and he's going to play the winner of the match between, who the hell is that? Gung Ho it is. That's another player I hadn't seen for a while. He turned up a couple of days ago again, and against Vinces. Now the favourite in that match is Vinces, or however we want to pronounce it. He's a pretty consistent 9-ball player, and I would put him as favourite. And then we have Chiku, who I think is more a billiard player. He has a bye to the second round, and he is due to play Magician. Magician, I've seen him play. I would put Chiku as the favourite, if only the fact that he probably has more knowledge than what Magician has of the game. But it's 9-ball, anything can happen. We've got another veteran virtual puller in the tournament, Tony Sam. Predominantly a snooker player over the years, in real life as well as in the game. Still likes to play a bit of 9-ball. He's got a bye to the second round. Doesn't play online much at all. So that's going to be his drawback. I think that's the problem we've all got. All us old virtual pullers, we've played the game for years, when we had a lot more time and circumstances were different, but now we don't have that time, and that's probably Tony's problem. I think he needs to get through round one to warm up and get into the tournament. So he's got the bye to round two, but he needs to actually win a match to maybe fire him up, because he is a good player and he's done well in past tournaments. He is waiting to play the winner of Culus and Bedhead. Now, I must admit I haven't seen Culus play much, and I haven't seen him play online very much, but I've seen Bedhead, and I'm going to put him as a favourite. He's a very strong player. Very strong player indeed. He's got a chance, an outside chance of winning this. And then we've got River City, who has a bye to the second round against Wizard Cheat. Well, River City, probably, you know, medium to average player at 9-ball, probably like myself, but he's playing Wizard Cheat, and he's got to be odds-on favourite for that match. Wizard Cheat, we know how he plays if you've watched the videos. We've got Wink at Me, another good player in the first round, against Ding Junhui, who is... Now, Ding Junhui's either a player who has been around for a while and changed his name, or he's a new player. I haven't checked his profile. A very good snooker player. How is he at 9-ball? Well, we've yet to see, but I would definitely put Wink at Me as a favourite, because he's much more a 9-ball player than anything else, from what I've seen online. We've got Biggs, who has a bye, against another old virtual pool player, and Mofo is the favourite for that match. Mofo has a lot more experience than Biggs over the ground at virtual pool. I would put him as the favourite. And then we've got sorry, what am I talking about? Biggs is waiting in the winner of that last match. Ding Junhui and Wink at Me. Mofo's playing dirties, but I'll still put him as favourite, or Dr. Ties against Mofo. And then, of course, the losers of these matches will end up on that side of the bracket. And you see the times that the rounds are to be played by, so they'll get plenty of time to arrange their matches. They arrange their matches by checking the bracket and then contacting their opponent. But there are a couple of matches there that I would hope to get to see. The problem is the time zones might prevent me from doing that. I'll just have to try and catch them at the right time. The one thing that favours this match is that Albinario is from Sweden, so that's more a European time zone, and we might be lucky to get that as an evening match before I go to my bed, so hopefully that'll happen. And I would like to catch Mal's first match, because that is going to be a cracker. And the problem there is Yama from Japan is about 7 or 8 hours in front of the UK, and well, Mal doesn't get a lot of time to be online, so that's more likely to be an early morning match or an early afternoon match in the UK, which I might be able to catch if they arrange that sort of suitable time, but we'll see. But anyway, that is the draw for this year's 2017 US Open. 41 players in it. Hopefully there won't be an awful lot of buys, and hopefully I'll have the very first match from this year's tournament very soon. So with that, we will say thank you for watching. It's just a quick look at the bracket, and hopefully we might see you later on this afternoon.